What's good, YouTube? It's Nehemiah, aka Neo, and today I'm gonna do some free agent predictions along with just some trade predictions that could happen this offseason. I'm not sure if they're going to happen, but if what I say is true with certain players like Kyrie and even maybe Levine, then I think that some trades could go down, especially this offseason, but maybe even later. So before I get into this, I want to talk about some key free agents that may get traded, may stay, may do anything. So one thing that always relies is one. A lot of teams that are rumored to to make these trades or even sign them, they one have to have the cap space to actually stay under the hard cap in order for them to actually acquire these players. And two, more specifically, if a guy like Bradley Beal does like a silent trade where he retains his supermax but he goes somewhere else, which I'm not even sure if that's legal. If that were to happen, a team like the Miami Heat will not be able to get them. A team like even the Knicks may not be able to get them because they're probably closer to the hard cap than we would really understand or than we would really like to admit. And that would probably be bad for the teams like the Knicks and teams that are just very close to the cap. So going to that, we have to make sure that we understand these teams just may not be able to afford these players. So yeah, and going into who I think is going to stay, I want to address Bradley Beal. I think it's very true that he's going to stay. He's going to sign the supermax. I believe it's 250 million around that ballpark for 5 years. That's hard money to pass up. I'm not gonna lie. So, while I do think it'd be good for him to go to a contender eventually, he may just request a trade when he's what 30, 31. He's probably still going to be in his prime, still going to be playing some of his best ball. But I still think he's going to get the money. I think what Washington is doing in terms of actually building a younger roster is kind of interesting. But the problem is, I don't think that the team is really ready to take that leap because Bradley Beal is still on that roster and he's still getting way too many touches for the younger players to develop really well. So that's just a concern of mine. But besides that, I think that Washington is just gonna throw the bag to him, and see what happens there. Second notable one, Kyrie Irving. I don't know what's gonna happen to Kyrie. I'm gonna be completely honest. I know that there's rumors to the LA Lakers. They could actually make that work because Russ's contract is what, $47 million, and Kyrie is probably what 30 something. Let me check Kyrie's contract right now. This is of course if he opts in. It's believed that he's gonna be opting in because he's gonna request a trade immediately after. I don't think he's able to just sign with any other team besides maybe the Portland Trailblazers. And even then, I don't think he's really going to try to go to the Portland Trailblazers. So let me just check. Yeah, 36 million. So 47 to 36. I think that trade could go through. I'm pretty sure it will. But they would have to stay under the cap, and they're damn near on the cap. So I think that would work, but they can't take any salary filler, I believe. So that's concerning. That and I heard that the Clippers were also rumored. The Clippers are way above the cap. They're 171 and the cap is 155. So they would have to make some magic work or something. I don't know if that could actually happen. But teams like Miami Heat, the Knicks, I think the Knicks are just gonna go on for Jalen Brunson, which I'm probably gonna talk about later. So I think that the safest option would be the Lakers, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I do think he's not going to stay in Brooklyn though. But if I had to do my safest bet, it'd probably be the Lakers. But it would be wild for him to get traded because if he gets traded, then KD gets traded, and if I were to say where he gets traded, probably Portland. I think Portland just has the best assets. Uh, Anthony Simons, really good young player, a whole bunch of draft capital. I'm not sure if they can make the contracts work. I'm not sure how much Portland is under the cap. Portland Trailblazers cap space. So let me check right now. Does this update it with Jeremy Grant? No, I don't think it updated with Jeremy Grant, but essentially Jeremy Grant's contract is just another 30 million to this. So they would have 123 going into next year, which isn't a lot. I think that's still under, or it's not under the cap space, but that's under the hard cap. So that's good to know. And they could probably make that trade. But the next notable free agent, Zach LaVine, I already said he's gonna stay. So I think we can skip that. But if Zach LaVine does stay, expect Rudy Gobert to be on this team next year, and expect them to lock down that paint, bro. That team defense will be nasty. Oh my god. DeAndre Ayton, he's a restricted free agent. If Phoenix wants to re-sign him, they can. Reports are saying he's gonna get dealt in a sign and trade, which I would do too. I don't think he's worth the max. His self-creation is just not there for me. He just doesn't seem to be engaged in the game too, which is kind of troubling. So I would just avoid him at all costs. So if I were to do a sign and trade, put him in the Pistons, put him in the Hornets. Any of those two, that could do work. The only thing is, if they do want to trade him away, they would have to get a big first. And that's where the Aiden for Rudy Gobert stuff comes in. And I would say if I'm the Phoenix Suns, you gotta go with Rudy Gobert. You gotta find out if you could get Rudy. Because if you can, then that's great. If you can't, that's also bad. Because you really can't win if you don't get Rudy Gobert. Because there's not really that much good free agents out there, or good free agent bigs out there, excuse me. You can also get Jakob Poeltl, which is also good. I'd do that. Miles Bridges, another restricted one. I think he's just staying. I think he just likes it in Charlotte. Shout out Pink Lemonade. And James Harden, I think he's opting in. There's no way he's passing up 47 million, especially since he had probably one of his worst years since becoming a star. So I expect him to have a bounce back, not be as mobile or agile as he used to be, but still just having an overall bounce back, more dominant scoring year. Because think about it, he's just having a whole off season of just rest, all that. And even though last year's was definitely not super short, it was still short. And that still wasn't really the best for the people around him. Jalen Brunson. I don't think he's going to the mat, or I don't think he's going to the Knicks, excuse me. I think the Knicks just kind of wasted what they did. If the Knicks do get someone like Aiden, that could be good, but I don't think they're actually going to pursue him. They're doing stuff for Jalen Brunson, but I don't know. I don't think he's going there. I think he's just staying on the Mavs. That being said, if the Knicks do throw a bag at him like 28 million, I think he's going. But I think that's still a horrible thing for the Knicks to do. Because why would you do that? It doesn't really make any much sense. And who's next? Oh, Colin Sexton. This is something that I've been eyeing, because who's gonna throw the bag at Colin? Because if it's me, I'm not gonna lie. I think the Cavs, if the Cavs can retain him for the low, I think they would. For around less than 15 million, they would do it. In fact, if he doesn't even get offered more than 20, I think the Cavs are probably gonna just keep him on the roster. Just let him do his thing, and then trade him once he has his bounce back year. Oh, Anthony Simons is also on restricted free agency, huh? I didn't know that. I think he's staying though. He's either staying or he's gonna get packed up in a trade for KD. Nurkic is staying. I don't. Marvin Bagley's probably gone, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But Russ, he's also staying. If not, he's getting packed up for Kyrie. Gary Harris probably staying. Tyus Jones. He could probably go somewhere else, honestly. Gary Harris is 27 years old. Damn. Gary Payton is definitely leaving, especially if he gets a bag thrown at him. Like probably 15, 18 million. I don't think the Warriors could actually afford to keep him. Because they would have to afford to keep him, Otto Porter, and Looney. I don't think they can. That's hard. Vic, I don't know. I think he's going to stay with Miami, but that's also just me being kind of I think that's just me just acknowledging that he probably fits in Miami's culture, but I don't think he's actually a good fit for Miami. As we've seen the double layoffs, oh Lord, I don't think he's gonna stay, but I could be wrong. Oh, another player I want to talk about, Mo Bamba. So Mo Bamba could go for pretty much anywhere. I want him to go to the Milwaukee Bucks because Bucks fan. But if I were to say a place that I think he's gonna go, if Detroit doesn't get Ayton, they're definitely getting Mo Bamba. I don't think Mo Bamba is a bust yet. I just think that he's been in Orlando, and no one wants to go to Orlando. So I think he can have a resurgence in Detroit, especially if they have a really good year this year. Thomas Bryant, he's only 24. Damn. Yeah, I'm finding out a lot of these players. Oh my god. But I think that Thomas Bryant, he probably leaves to Washington, gets a bigger bag, rather than Detroit, maybe even the Phoenix Suns. But I don't think Phoenix would really want him. But yeah, as for trades, if Harrison Barnes does get dealt, he's probably going to maybe the Portland Trailblazers if they can afford him. I think they're just going for a really lengthy roster. Some that the Clippers are trying to do this year, which is also kind of underrated. A lot of championship teams are going with 3-4 small forwards, or even just a couple really big bodies. And I think the Clippers are doing that right now. And that's something that we should look out in the regular season, because that could be really, really dangerous. Think about the 2019 Raptors roster and the 2022 Boston roster. They're the exact same, just a bunch of big bodies. And that just creates really good defense, But that'll be it for me. I don't really got anything else to say. This is just an episode because, one, I didn't really want to edit another YouTube video, and two, I probably won't be able to react to a lot of the trade deadline, or not trade deadline, the free agency stuff until probably Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. And that happens on Thursday. So I just want to get some of my predictions out there. Not really bolder predictions, but just predicting every major move. So yeah, I'll see y'all later. It's your boy Neo, aka Nehemiah, and I hope you guys have a good one.